The year's 1940, 5 years before the atomic bomb was first dropped, and 7 years before the infamous Roswell incident. Despite UFOs and aliens not being in the mainstream or really reported at all, one individual believes they had an encounter with otherworldly beings. In 1940, in Boulder Mountain, Montana, Udo Wartena encountered two unknown beings that showed him fantastical equipment and let him know knowledge that he should not have known at the time. Was this a real close encounter, or was it all a hoax? Join us today as we discuss the Wartena incident.
Welcome back to
Unknown,
Unsolved,
Unseen,
Triple U.
Woohoo! How's it going, everybody? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to episode 81 of the podcast. I'm your otherworldly host, Frank.
And I am your ufologist, Sage.
Yep, and
or host, Sage, I guess.
And you're here listening to us on Unknown, Unsolved, Unseen, where you can hear all about all the crazy unsolved true crime, unsolved mysteries, UFOs, cryptids, and whatnot, in case you're coming here for the very first time.
Welcome.
Yeah, we've been having quite the week lately, partially why I've not been posting much on our socials. Been busy at work, and then also kind of caught up with the playoffs between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Criers.
Oh, yeah. They can go
cry themselves to sleep.
Yeah. I hope both sides of their pillows are warm.
God. We are not we're not Flyers fans. I don't mind the Eagles. I don't care really about baseball, but it's those damn Flyers. I don't like them. None of them on the team. Isn't that what Crosby says? I don't like any of them.
I don't like them.
I don't like them.
I loved that someone had a sign of that.
I agree with him. I don't like them.
I don't like them.
And guess what?
They don't like him either, and he fucking showed them that.
You know what I gotta say? Pens in 7.
Hopefully. hopefully not. I don't know if I can continue. My heart can handle the stress of watching this team suck so badly. I don't know. It's terrible. I want to see them succeed, but also it's so heartbreaking.
And that's why we'll be going to the Reading Royals game on Friday to go see the Royals play against the Nailers, so we can see the Flyers affiliate hopefully get their shit kicked in by the Penguins affiliate, because right now the Penguins affiliate, the Wheeling Nailers, are up 2-0 in the series. So welcome back, Sage. It's been a few, I think 2-3 weeks. We pre-recorded the episode with what's it called?
Something
Strange. Yeah, so Sage is back. Woohoo. Sorry if you guys hear any tip-tapping or barking in the background. We do have a second dog here, and surprisingly, Atlas is not the problem anymore.
Yeah, Marley won't. Oh.
Is she might lay down?
Yeah, her head's
nails are a lot longer than Atlas, so every time she walks around on the wood floor, you hear tick-tack, 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 tick-tack.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible, but it's okay.
All right, announcements today.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah, what do you got?
I just want to say thanks to everybody for understanding. I know I preach on here about mental health. It's my job. But sometimes I also have to, find a way to prioritize myself in that. So it'll be a little bit of a slow comeback because I am going away in 2 weeks. So Frank will probably do an episode with a different person again. But I just appreciate everybody's understanding and, well wishes.
Yeah. What she said. Really appreciate you guys for understanding. Hopefully you guys are liking Kelsey. I think Kelsey will be back in 2 weeks on an episode as we talk about something she actually recommended.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Besides that, I think we're going to, let me just think. Oh, last announcement is a bunch of UFO festivals and Bigfoot festivals coming up throughout the country. Might start highlighting some of them, especially in November, Carbondale Festival. Once again, look out for that. That's one of the coolest festivals ever.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. And it's months away.
Yeah, I am very much excited too. All right. Now, today we're heading to a state I don't think we've covered it yet. I don't think we've done anything that has gone through the state of Montana.
Please say Boulder.
Boulder Mountain.
Oh, I thought you said Boulder, Colorado. I was going to say we literally did Denver International Airport, but yeah, no, I'm not sure.
We will be covering the Wartena UFO Incident. Have you ever heard of this one, Sage?
I have not. I don't know anything about this.
This is not a widely talked about one. I only found like 4 sources online that actually had information, and almost all of them referred to each other too, which did not help whatsoever whenever it's basically a circle jerk of information.
Yeah, just a roundabout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but it was really interesting. Now, this is lesser known, and it is not known as Montana's Roswell. Unlike
literally every other sighting of any
unlike
UFOs?
that UFO Files whatever show where it's China's Roswell, Russia's Roswell, Texas Roswell, Pennsylvania's Roswell, Brazil's Roswell. All those are episodes in that show.
You know,
I think there's also Canada's Roswell too.
Sometimes you just gotta recycle shit.
Everybody's Roswell, but this year, Texas's Roswell was before Roswell. We covered that, the Aurora, Texas UFO incident.
Yeah.
Today we'll be covering one that's not Montana's Roswell, but before Roswell, and it is not a UFO crash this time. Now, if you're ready, let's jump into our nifty time machine and head back on to the year of 1940, which I somehow misspelled as 1040.
Hit me with it.
I'm like, we are not going back that far.
That would be a very long time.
As per usual, the year of our Lord, 1940. And don't worry, our Lord does come up in this one.
Really?
Yes.
Our Lord as in like Christian Lord?
Yes.
Okay. All right, hit us with it. Tell us what be up.
Sorry, I might sound a bit louder now, guys. I just adjusted my volume. I forgot that I've been a bit quieter on some of the later episodes as of lately. Our story takes us to Boulder Mountain, Montana. In 1940, this was a fairly remote area of Montana and still relatively is. Not many towns in the area. World War II was beginning to ramp up and the U.S. was still not involved. The world was in one of the most precarious times. Pearl Harbor would just be a year later. Germany was expanding into Europe, taking country after country and pushing Britain and France back. The U.S. was considering what they were going to do in the case of this. And, that's what the world was worried about at the time, was this awful position we were in, how everything was just, everybody's up against the wall. What's going to happen? But in a mountain out in Montana, I might be getting the name wrong. I might be getting right. Udo, I think is how you say it. How would you say this? UDO.
Udo or Udo?
Udo or Udo?
Like I think of like Uno. Udo.
I think it could be Udo. I think I saw somewhere it said Udo. I might be saying wrong the entire episode, and if somebody who's Dutch corrects me, go for it, because he is originally Dutch.
Oh, well, if he's Dutch, I would say Udo then.
All right. That dangerous life that we were just talking about wasn't what was dominating the life of one individual around Boulder Mountain, Montana. Udo Wartena was a Dutch immigrant who had been living in the western United States for about 2 decades by 1940. Don't know why this is also an interesting detail about him, but he was Mormon.
I'm not surprised with that area of the country.
Yeah, I'm more surprised. Montana's very far north.
Yeah, it's still mid-ish west. Mid-ish west.
All right.
Over there.
Udo was at the time 37 years old and a miner working part-time for the Northwest Mining Company. Just like the kids of today, he yearned for the mines.
So a miner, not a minor.
Yes.
He mined the mines. He wasn't
Like
a child.
Like Minecraft.
Okay.
Like Steve from Minecraft. First we mine, then we craft. Let's Minecraft.
Oh, we don't have time for that. Or whatever it was.
But I doubt he yearned for the mines like today's kids do.
I guess not.
You
But
know.
are you going to tell us why he didn't? Or
I just assume no person would really yearn for the mines like the kids do in Minecraft today. He probably wasn't fighting off zombies, skeletons, creeper, aw man, and all that stuff.
I mean, it looks like he was fighting something off.
No, it does not actually once I go further into this.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I'm jumping the gun.
All right. About 99% of what I go over next is from a letter Udo wrote in 1980, 40 years after the events of today's episode, and any information that, if you find like the text of the letter, any other information I find would be related to accounts he gave to close friends close to his death.
Was his death like in or around 1980 when he wrote the letter?
About 9 years later, I believe it was 1989. It's at the bottom of my notes, but I don't feel like scrolling all the way down, losing my spot.
Do you know how old he was when this happened?
37 years old, I had mentioned that.
Sorry, I must have missed that. So he was in his late 70s when he wrote the letter, so that makes sense that he probably did it because he was expecting to, not be around forever much longer.
And I'll get to that in a little bit, but he was told not to write it initially.
They always say that. Never listen.
Never listen to them aliens.
Yeah.
Those dang probing aliens coming down from them stars, sticking them probes up my bumhole.
Jesus.
Ain't that how they probe?
Well, went far south. Very fast. All right.
Now, Udo had found a glacial deposit in the mountains that showed proof of potentially being gold-bearing, but he could only prospect for gold on his days off and not on days he was working as part of him being employed by the Northwest Mining Company. He waited for summer to roll around and started prospecting then. He gradually started moving some of the boulders and eventually found some gold. He would need to divert water so he could wash out the material and find the gold, which is how prospecting for gold works. If you've ever been like out west, like Colorado or many other places where they let you pan for gold, he had to do that stuff so he could start panning for it. You know what I mean, Sage?
Yeah.
So he cleared out some of the debris and logs from an old ditch dug by miners over 60 years ago and diverted part of the creek to go down to the ditch. After a day, he built a makeshift dam and another ditch to use the water for cleaning for gold. Now we get to the fun part of this.
Ooh, we haven't reached the fun part yet?
Not yet. Yearning for the mines do be fun, and Minecraft is a fun game, but we do also like aliens here.
First we fun, then we part. We fun part.
First we mine, then we aliens. Mine aliens.
Mine. That sounds German. He's German. Well, Dutch.
Dutch. Wow, look at you,
Might be.
European racist here.
Might be.
Oh, what, you're going to say all Europeans look the same?
Considering I am fully, from European
Are you going to say all
descent,
Europeans sound the same?
they definitely do not. Especially, the Dutch and German.
All right, and then back to this then. He was moving some more boulders one morning when he heard a strange noise. There was some type of humming or droning noise coming from above. He assumed it was an aircraft as the Great Falls base was nearby and aircraft occasion would fly over. He ignored it until he realized that the noise continued to persist. He went to investigate, and as he thought a car might have actually been nearby, stalling somewhere or waiting, he saw something truly strange. Dare I say something strange?
Something strange.
Who just had a collab episode with us on their end that you can go check out last week about eating mummies.
Whoa.
You remember that?
Yeah, that was a great
disturbing,
episode.
but great.
Great episode.
Now what Udo saw was something he'd never seen before, and most likely never saw again. He saw a strange craft, described as a ship or a blimp, hovering above a meadow next to where he had created his makeshift dam. Udo described the craft as 100 feet wide and 35 feet tall. It looked like the color of stainless steel, but was not as bright and shiny as stainless steel. And it looked like two soup plates, one being inverted on top of the other, similar to a lot of flying saucer descriptions. We got like
soup
this.
plates inverted on top of the other.
A soup plate has like a small base and a very then like wide area.
Yeah, it's shallow but wide. Yeah, I'm thinking of like a Olive Garden dish.
Yeah, so fairly in line with our typical.
So not an egg.
No eggs.
Darn.
So in line with typical UFO descriptions. So nothing out of the unusual. Nothing out of the usual. I mean,
okay.
Well, no, out of the unusual. So still within our usual UFO descriptions, unless it's a triangle. Those are different.
I was gonna say I'm a little lost of where we're going. So
I am lost too.
I believe you.
So he mentioned it was like the open ends were against each other. And as I said, wrote here, similar to many flying saucer or descriptions over the years. So nothing out of the usual. He thought it might be an airship until a circular staircase descended from the craft and a man walked down and out onto the meadow that the craft was hovering over. This man then approached Udo.
Okay.
Udo walked towards him, and the unknown man stopped somewhere between 10 to 12 feet away. Udo described him as being a nice-looking man who was about the same age as Udo. He wore light gray overalls, a tam, which he said was the same color as the overalls. Do you know what a tam is?
No.
Type of hat.
Oh.
It's like one of those, like, how do I say it? It's almost like the short, like, baggy hat. But, like, part like goes like that.
Okay.
You guys can look up a tam yourselves. I don't know how.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Look, I am not a fashion guy. I don't feel like having to tell you guys what the fuck a tam is.
So you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're typically knitted. I'm looking one up so I can show Sage what a tam is. There, that's a tam.
Okay. That's very Peaky Blinders.
Go with that. Peaky Blinders.
Not a fedora. And not...
Nope.
There's another type of
It's almost like part of the hat is like lopsided, like comes off the side.
Think French mime. But lopsided.
Or like European like special ops general in a movie.
Oh yeah. No, that's a perfect description.
That's how like the
with the cigarette.
Yes. Yes. That's how movies display him.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect description. That's exactly what.
That's such a stereotypical movie description.
Yeah. Well.
So gray overalls. Wait, did I say gray overalls?
Yeah.
Yeah, overalls and a tam, both of them light gray. And they look to be the same material and color, and slippers or moccasins on his feet.
This guy does not sound like an alien.
Wow. You try and tell me aliens can't wear, slippers and feel comfortable in their damn lives?
I just didn't think they'd wear overalls and look like the same age as him.
Excuse me, I'm pretty sure, I forget if the Joe Simonton aliens also wore some type of overalls or not. But a lot of early alien encounters have them wearing like weird shit like this.
It's funny because like in that time, like overalls would be kind of like normal, right?
Yeah.
And then we think back now and we go, oh my god, someone wearing overalls? That's like not that common anymore.
That's hick shit right there at this point. Yeah. Despite the fact that it really shouldn't be too uncommon.
To be fair, I have, family from Pennsylvania, so I can call them hicks. Maybe. Sorry in advance. Actually, sorry in...
I'm just generalizing.
What's the opposite of advance?
I don't know. You're just sorry now?
No, I'm just sorry. Might be.
Yeah. The man then asked if it would be okay if they took some water from the dam, and Udo saw no issue with it and told them sure. The man from the craft then signaled, and some type of hose or pipe came from the craft and started taking some of the water.
Okay.
You know what this device reminds me of? Mr. Burns' wonderful device, the Delockinator. It's how they drained the Loch Ness to find the Loch Ness monster in The Simpsons.
Like a siphon?
Yeah, but I like the name. Smithers, Prepare the delockinator.
The delockinator.
That's how you delock the lock. The man then asked Udo what he was doing out here, and Udo explained what he was doing. He was then also invited to come aboard the craft. Through this conversation, he described Udo described the English from the unknown man as similar to his own, slowly as if he were a linguist. I would not be surprised that someone who may not be from this planet, speaking English slowly, almost like not properly, as this is most likely not their native tongue, despite how sci-fi movies show and other things show. Everything not from Earth does not just speak English.
Everything on Earth doesn't speak English.
You expect Thanos to be coming from like halfway across the galaxy, speaking perfect English in his monologue about how he wants to kill half the universe.
Well, they do that in Invincible. Everybody in Invincible speaks.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple species that have like a language and they do the subtitles, but even then, their people still can speak fluent English.
Yep.
Like, that doesn't make any freaking sense. There's no way we're that powerful.
But yet they don't all understand the same words when that one guy says, "You will now be the toast." But he doesn't understand what toast is, yet Alan the alien understands what toast is.
Oh my god.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but I mean, alright. Do you think it's kind of like a thing where maybe they've got like a chip or something that like they speak in their own tongue, but it comes out as like broken English?
You're talking about in this case?
Yeah.
No, it's because he mentions that they're still learning the language later.
Oh, okay.
Man, you're making me spoil so much shit today.
Sorry, I have questions.
Sorry, that's what they all say. Making me spoil. So he was invited onto the craft. He mentioned that he was speaking like slow English, like it wasn't his primary language. As he got under the craft, the humming was very loud. But once he went up the stairwell into the craft, it was barely noticeable.
It didn't beam me up, Scotty?
No, he walked up a staircase. You remember a staircase came down from the craft.
That's boring.
A spiral staircase came down from underneath.
Okay, a spiral's kind of dope.
He joined the man on the ship, and the room they entered was described as 12 by 16 feet. There was a close...
so specific.
Yep, there was a close-fitting door on the far end. You know, it has to be a close-fitting door, not a regular door.
Yeah.
It's very specific, some of this. It was lit with indirect lighting, and the best part is the nice upholstered benches around the sides of the room.
Wow, this seems way less of an alien spaceship and more of a freaking sex lounge.
But it was mentioned, like he wrote in his letter, with nice upholstered benches.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, guy has a eye for taste, I guess. Eye for design.
Maybe the aliens do too. Maybe they're just interior design majors, like going planet to planet, understanding what.
And that's why they wear
best interior design.
And that's why they wear overalls, because they're too busy focusing on the interior design and not fashion.
Yeah, they're men who work with their hands, making the perfect house
within the confines of a 12 by 16 ship.
Hey, the ship is 100 feet wide, 35 feet tall.
I said room.
I know, but they probably have multiple trial rooms.
Yeah, that's a new one.
It's like a showroom, but all on a UFO.
Yeah.
It's multiple showrooms.
It's like one of those like traveling trucks where they like bring the bath fitter in.
Oh my god.
Or something.
Where it's like you're at a festival and they have in the truck a display of what your bathroom could look like.
Yeah.
But it's a UFO. Trailer. It's like, this is what upholstered benches your planet could have if you accept us as your friends or whatever.
Instead of Amish made, it's alien made.
Aliens come around not to conquer, not to learn, not to research, not to experiment, but to show us interior design.
Honestly, I feel like some people could use it. We're kind of heading back to the 90s in some ways for interior design, and it's a little scary.
Some of the interior design, the minimalism is so questionable.
Yeah.
But these aliens, upholstered benches, 12 by 16 room, close-fitting door, I mean, dare I say, maybe we should hire them. Wonder what their space money is like. You know, I don't know why that makes me think of... There is a South Park episode where an alien fugitive lands on Earth, and he had just, like, robbed a bank as a story, and he took, like, $6 million space dollars, and so the people of Earth kill him, take his space money, and then spend it on shit on Earth, And eventually, like, alien cops come, and it's all like a ruse. Basically, the alien they killed was not what's it called? Like, was in on the ruse to test to see if the planet was ready for other life. And I think they're like, you took 6 million space bucks from me. How the fuck are you spending that internally? Like, you have no idea what the value of a space dollar is.
Yeah.
Because it was like all of a sudden, countries all of a sudden go these cool new things with all of their space money. But how do you assign value to money?
Good metaphor for human beings.
It's like if a isolated tribe in like the Amazon all of a sudden got like $1,000, but they could only spend it like within themselves. How would they know the value of that damn money?
Yeah, that's true.
It's I don't know. That's me. I don't even know how he got on this, talking about alien furniture and shit.
I don't know, but
back to the scene at hand. Udo noticed an older man in the room. He was described as plainly dressed and that he had white hair. From this, he realized that the other man he had walked up with also had white hair. And also, he then realized upon closer inspection, the man he went with, his skin was almost entirely translucent.
Like translucent, that he could like see the stuff on the inside?
I don't know how the rest of that works. Maybe you can see like the muscles and veins.
It's like when you go to like a medical museum and you see the outline of all like the nerves and the veins and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. Man probably needs like SPF 250 to go outside.
Oh my god, yeah. I thought I was freaking white.
Bro, pale as shit. You can see his fucking veins. Call him translucent up in here.
To be fair, I am also pale as shit, and you still can see some of my veins, so.
I would not describe you as translucent.
I appreciate that. I'm glad that I'm at least dark enough to not be translucent. Even though I am literally the color of our walls in this house. With a little bit of freckles.
Alright, we're going to move on from that then. The older man never introduced himself, and Udo realized the original man hadn't either. He believed if they had, Udo would have been upset. I don't understand why, of all people, he would be upset if they didn't introduce themselves there to him, and what his reasoning was for saying that if they introduced themselves to me, I would have been upset.
If they had?
Yeah.
That's like opposite of what you would expect.
I know, but like, why would you be mad if they introduced themselves?
He's like, I want plausible deniability.
Weird. The man asked Udo if he wanted to know anything, and Udo asked why they took the water from the stream and not the lake. And they explained that the water was good, free of algae, and convenient, almost in a way that they had taken it from the spot before, is what it seemed to imply.
So they asked about the water, and it was kind of a ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
No, they asked for permission.
After they had already taken water from it, though?
Well, it sounds like in years past they did when nobody was there.
So they still had to ask for forgiveness for that, and they're asking for permission now.
I don't think they were asking for forgiveness. They were just like, oh yeah, this water is good water. It's free of algae. It's clean. It's good condition.
If they took water from it previously, though, why would they ask now to take water from it?
Because somebody was here for the first time. Because this isn't an area that somebody lived in for a while. Those ditches that he found were dug 60 years ago by miners. It'd been 60 years since somebody was really living here regularly.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Udo later mentioned to a family member that apparently it was the hydrogen from the water that was the fuel for the craft. I assumed he had forgotten to mention this in the letter when he wrote it.
I feel like that's a really like minute detail that's not as interesting as like the alien was wearing overalls.
I mean, hydrogen as a fuel source is interesting. Udo then asked what was making the humming sound and powering their craft. He was shown the mechanism and told the following by the younger man. This is his quotes. As you notice, we are floating above the ground, and though the ground slopes, the ship is level. There are in the outside rim 2 flywheels, one turning one way and the other in the opposite direction. He mentioned that this gave the ship its own gravitation, or rather overcame the gravitational pull of the Earth. And sorry if I lost any of you flat earthers out there, but I forgot gravity doesn't exist and it's just a buoyancy.
Ugh.
Buoyancy motherfuckers out here be like, it's floating on air. I'm sinking in the air.
There's a show, like a YouTube channel called Dr. Daft Show, and it's a lot like Jubilee. And the most recent episode was one liberal woman versus 20 conservative women. And she had to like go through and be like, okay, do you believe in dinosaurs? Do you believe that the earth is round? Like, it asked them these questions, like, when did you think dinosaurs existed? Like 2,000 years ago, millions of years? And they're like, we believe in the 7 days of creationism and all this different stuff. And I was like, is she just kind of, and she's Christian, and she like looked at them and she was just like, oh my God, how am I gonna combat any of the things that you have when your brain believes the earth is flat?
That's interesting. A lot of the like scientific theories and stuff of today, I'm pretty sure came from like the Catholic Church. Like the Big Bang, if I'm not mistaken, was proposed by a Catholic like monk or priest. That's where the Big Bang theory comes from. The first stuff about genetics and like genes and stuff like Mendel or whatever, Catholic monk. Mm-hmm. And like I just saw so many things. The idea that God's creation, that it took millions of years because of just the ambiguity of it, and it's talking about God in retrospect, came from like Catholic like ideology that to support evolution.
This lady didn't believe in evolution. Do you want to know what her response was?
What?
How can there be evolution if we're living on the planet at the same time as there's monkeys? You would have lost your mind listening to this.
I would have. And I hope I never have to listen because it's so fucking
I don't know
annoying.
why I rage bait myself watching those videos, but they're so fascinating to me. But anyway, sorry, continue.
All right. Now, before we get any further, I think it's time for a message from some of our friends.
Hey, he's Ken.
And she's Em.
And together
we're the hosts of Do You Dare.
So, Do You Dare is our podcast where we discuss all things true crime,
All things paranormal.
and all things history, mystery, and beyond.
Plus, don't forget the aliens.
Oh, that's silly of me. How could I forget those?
We're just two British siblings with mics, hoping to bring some spooky, some twisted, and some downright sinister to your ears.
If you like what you're listening to right now, type in Do You Dare into wherever you get your podcasts and join us as we delve into all things dark and spine-tingling with our customary British flair.
Come join the dark side. If you dare.
All right, thank you for listening to that message from some of our friends. Now, back to the Wartena incident. Udo was shown 2 flywheels or rings, and they were about 3 feet wide and several inches thick, separated by rods, turned by motors, and next to quote-unquote battery of transformer-like units all around the inside perimeter of the circular ship. They created an electromagnetic force, and Udo acted like he understood when he was being told all this, despite he did not understand most of the shit.
Okay.
Me every day.
But he understood it enough to be able to reiterate it back?
I think understood enough to say, well, those words he got were probably the words they told him.
Okay.
Which makes sense. Or he may have heard it in years after, because he wrote this in 40 years later.
That's true.
He then asked where the energy was to power the ship, and was told it came from the suns and stars. He was told that this energy could let them travel at speeds faster than light and skipping upon light waves. Apparently this is similar to things reported by Bob Lazar and what they are experimenting with in Roswell. So maybe Lazar got it from here, or maybe these are 2 separate things, because I forget when Lazar first came public with his stuff, and this didn't get really much public attention until the 90s. When it was written in UFO magazine, and still it hasn't even gotten much
Didn't he
notice.
just go on Joe Rogan?
I think so. That's the episode I think you were told to listen to by some people.
Yeah, I don't listen to Joe Rogan. I don't like him.
He was sitting behind the president recently in the White House. Despite the fact he criticizes it, he realized he needs to kiss the boot.
Yeah, to keep his image.
Bootlicker hardly knew her. Back to here. He then asked where the energy... I mentioned that they came from the sun and stars. He then asked why they were here and what their objective was. The man told Udo that as they looked like humans, he told them that they were pretty much as He told them that we look pretty much as you do, so we mingle with your people, gather information, leave instructions, or give help where needed. A more benevolent version of aliens compared to many of the current depictions, such as the gray aliens, and their more malevolent plans on this planet. They had been monitoring humanity, however, their progress for quite some time. They also let them know that they were from a distant planet, and the younger looking one was 609 years old.
Damn.
Boomer, am I right?
And he looked young?
Yeah.
Man, they got some good skincare.
And the older one was over 900 years old. That's true. That's an insane lifespan. We're talking invincible Viltrumite level lifespans. The man let Udo know they speak over 500 languages, and we're still learning ours and improving.
So that means there's, other than the other languages is there 500 languages in this world?
I have no idea.
Like, how many other planets does that mean they've been to where they've had to learn a different language?
Or how many are there on their planet?
That's true.
There are probably at least 500 here if you talk about certain dialects and some maybe like very niche ones and small
even like
populations.
ASL, like American Sign Language, there's different levels of sign language, like different.
Maybe if they're talking about other suns and stars that powering, they most likely wouldn't be from the solar system. So there'd be other planets too. Now, I don't know why I made me think of with them being that old. What will we have in 500 years, Mark? Think, Mark, think. And then start beating the shit out of him. Who do you think knows more languages? These aliens or the Duolingo bird?
Probably these aliens. I'm so sorry, Duo.
Did you know the Duolingo bird is supposed to like reel in its unhingedness? I think they committed to like being less unhinged with the Duolingo bird.
That sucks because it's hilarious to me.
Udo asked if they knew about Jesus Christ and religion.
Wow, this dude had priorities.
So,
when talking to the aliens. Is this where God comes in?
Yeah. The man told Udo that they would like to talk about these things, but cannot interfere in any way. This was apparently the only question they refused to answer.
We are God. We are your God.
You don't know this alien story yet. If you want to see a good episode recently done by Ice Cream You Scream has one on it, but Valiant Thor is apparently an alien that lived at the Pentagon. He knew our boy JC, Jesus Christ, personally.
God damn.
I think Jesus Christ.
So we thought this
lived
dude
on
was
Venus.
old because he was 2,000, or he's 900 years old. This dude's over freaking 2026.
He knows Jesus Christ himself. And he's a big Christian fan. And, you know, maybe some people, if they're ever listening to this, I know we've talked about we're doing a game show eventually, but I think we'll have a question where it's which of these aliens would not consent to premarital sex? It's going to be Valiant Thor because he's a Christian.
Okay.
Such a stupid niche question.
Okay. Really, really nice alongside the what characters have been on Epstein Island.
Hey. That one's a special one that certain people who do listen might understand that and might be getting asked that. So if you're in the first game show, because we are still planning that, just pretend you did not hear that question that Sage spoiled.
I said absolutely nothing.
Exactly, just like the Epstein list. Nothing on it.
There is no list.
There is no list. It's just a black screen.
Ugh.
Yeah, but we're still planning on doing that. I plan on discussing that this week, as I believe I have a call with them. I have to see what the hell the schedule is in our group, because I've just been out of the loop because Penguins playoffs, and I've been hoping they win one, and they finally did. Now, back to this. They also offered to scan Udo for impurities in an X-ray-like device. He was scanned, but didn't take too much care or notice that much of this part of the encounter. He didn't really take any details on this. After explaining this, a light went on, indicating that the water filling was complete. Udo felt that it was time to leave and let the two men know. Now, how he knew that light meant the water was complete, who knows? He just felt like it was.
He's like, you know what? Our lights turn on when our water's complete filling. They don't, so I'm just confused.
I know. They then presented him with an interesting offer. They offered to let him join them. Udo let them know that he found the idea interesting, but said it would be inconvenient. It would be an inconvenience to too many people if he just left. Sorry, can't go to space. I might inconvenience my friends and family and coworkers. Sorry,
Honestly,
Chief.
We love a man's man, a girl's girl. We love that.
Well, it's not that these people will miss him. It's that he'll inconvenience them by disappearing.
Well, I mean, like, to get really real, really fast, that is, like, a logical reason as to why some people do not complete suicide.
I know.
So, like, I can understand it from that, like, the perspective. It's less about, like, oh, it's an inconvenience for them, but even, like, being sad, though, and grief is an inconvenience.
Afterwards, Udo is not sure why he said it that way, why he told them it would be such an inconvenience. Neither am I sure why he would say it like that.
If you, let's say we're in the life we live right now, and an alien comes down and they say, listen, Frank, we can take you to space, but you got to leave everything behind. Are you doing it?
I would probably be like, no, I think I'd miss my family and they'd miss me. Not that, oh, I'll inconvenience everybody. Sorry.
So would you love me if I was a worm?
Yes.
That's the same kind of freaking questioning.
My God. I don't know how we fit that into this episode, but
that should be in one of the episode out of contexts. Just my head on a worm.
Yeah, I've done bad on posting in between episodes. I should hopefully get back this week. I just haven't had the time to actually make shit.
I have also been sick, so.
That too, yes. Asia's been sick. We've been busy with playoffs. Work's been absolute hell with the fact our system's been having problems, but, you know, it's almost done. Now, Udo then left the craft, and as he was leaving, they suggested to Udo he keeps this secret and tells nobody. They said no one would believe him, and in 1940, I don't think many would. They did let him know that in the years to come, he would be able to share what happened in this encounter.
Okay.
He never told anybody this until he wrote that letter in 1980. Not to his wife, not to his friends, not to his family, until he wrote a letter.
I just feel like if this was me, like, and I said I wouldn't tell anybody or anything like that, like, you don't count on my list of people that, like, that doesn't count. Like, we're a unit, therefore, if I know something, you know something, and so, like, I can't say, like, you would know.
Yeah, Udo did not let his wife know.
I mean, he kept his word.
Yeah. As he walked away, the staircase raised up back into the ship. He then continued on a couple 100 feet and turned around to watch the ship. Many portholes opened up on the ship. Udo couldn't see through them, but assumed they were watching him. He did what any nice person would do and gave him a wave goodbye. To them, as the ship took off, you have Udo just standing down there waving goodbye.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
The ship basically rose straight up, circling a little bit before it rose too high to see anymore. He didn't have a watch, but by the sun's position, he said he was with them for about 2 hours. After the ship left, Udo felt that some strange energy was in the area after the craft left, and that caused him to lose his strength for several hours, and he could not walk. Once he got his strength back, he walked over to where the craft was and found an indent in the grass from where the stairway was, because the rest of the craft was hovering. He then went back to his base camp, and that concludes his encounter.
Wow.
He kept this as a close secret for 40 years and ended up writing a letter to, at the time, U.S. Senator John Glenn, a former astronaut. Glenn never publicly acknowledged or responded to Udo, to my knowledge whatsoever.
Was he one of the original astronauts?
I think so. I think he was one of the first ones to make it in space.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a very well-known name in astronaut sphere.
Yeah. Now, interesting thing he put in the letter, and this is something that happened at the time. I accidentally skipped this paragraph. Udo did recall later that a young man had gone missing in the same area without a trace a few years prior.
Oh.
There was a large search by the sheriff's team, and he wonders if that young man had taken an offer from this craft or a similar one.
That's true.
The young man had been staying with an older prospector and let him know that he would be out for a while, and took his light jacket and never returned, and no trace was ever found of him either. We have some unsolved disappearance in this episode too. You know, gotta get some of that in here.
Interesting.
Now, Udo Wartena would pass away at the age of 86 in West Lynn, Oregon on December 15th, 1989. Before he died, he would recount this tale and more details about it to friends, and those accounts were consistent with what he wrote in the 1980 letter. The case wouldn't get too much traction until William P. Aston, which reminds me of William Afton, who is the villain in Five Nights at Freddy's. Like that Springtrap when I play Dead by Daylight, that's the dead guy in this suit. Horror.
FNAF.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's why I just saw him. So William P. Afton, a UFO researcher, I think he was Australian, wrote an article about it in the 1997 for the UFO magazine. Over the years, a few other places and researchers would take a look into it, such as MUFON. Seeing that this happened in 1940, there was no real investigation of the area or anything because at that point you're over 40 years out from it.
And Project Blue Book, that wasn't until like the late 40s, early 50s.
Now, let's pivot over to some of the theories for what happened that day in 1940. With many UFO encounters, theories are actually quite limited on what it could be. Sometimes experimental aircraft and flares come up, but this time we're in 1940, so it's harder to really find certain things to blame it on. The first we can go with is that it was actual visitation by extraterrestrial life. Pretty self-explanatory. Aliens come visit, they talk with us, and they're aliens. They're not from here, or they're maybe from inside the Earth, if you're one of those Agartha believers.
They just be polite.
Damn right, sometimes them aliens just be polite. I don't trust them when they're being polite. I don't trust any of them extraterrestrials. Next is that he just hallucinated all of this, and it was all in his head. I found nowhere that explicitly pointed to this being an option, but that is a potential case.
That certainly is.
Now, next is that he hoaxes it all. This was a hoax by Udo. He made this all up. He wrote the letter up. He knowingly lied. But I'm not finding much to support why Udo would do this whenever he had nothing meaningful to gain. He wrote the letter in 1980 and didn't really say much more until closer in 1989 to people. He kept this fairly under wraps.
Yeah, and if you were going to make up a hoax like that, wouldn't you want to elaborate a little more of yeah, I got to go to space. Mm-hmm. I got to see this, that, whatever. Just talking to a random stranger who happens to possibly be in an alien spaceship doesn't necessarily lead itself to the most interesting story. Some
people do try and grift a little bit off their stuff, like Travis Walton. His case is really compelling, but he definitely got the movie deal. I've heard people complain about him and how he just tries to get money out of it.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, that happens with a lot of other stuff that happens. There's, people who fake their deaths for that kind of shit.
Yep. Rick Dyer and his multiple fake dead Bigfoots he's found that they're totally just dead possums.
Some people just
bad suit.
They want, I don't know. They want the fame and the fortune.
Lastly, there's government PSYOP, or secret government vehicle. I'd say very unlikely, as this is well outside the technology at the time. The war isn't going on where technology advanced heavily in that time or right before it.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on this? Which one do you think it would be?
I mean, like you said, I don't see why there would be a reason that he would be lying about it. I do think that I feel like he would be a little bit more fantastical, maybe. If he was lying, I feel like it'd be a little bit more unbelievable, I guess I would say. But an alien with good taste in furniture, wearing overalls and slippers and a hat,
good taste in furniture.
I don't know, that does seem more believable. I don't know. I mean, I do think there could definitely be a mental health piece, but what would deter me from that is he was able to recognize that he had family that was going to be inconvenienced by him leaving. That's not usually the case of a paranoid thought. It can result from that, but when you're talking about psychosis or something like that, a lot of it's oh, they're out to get me, they want to kill me, the government's trying to get I feel like if it was coming from a place of psychosis, he would have spent the next 49 years being oh my god, the government's gonna come get me because I had contact with an alien.
With aliens with good taste in furniture.
Yeah.
Their taste in furniture is what threatens our government.
And really shitty taste in pants.
Excuse me, overalls.
Pants
match their taste.
What are overalls if not pants?
I think overalls are their own area. Because shirts and pants are different. Doesn't mean everything has to be a shirt or a pant. my God. I don't know why I made it give this regular show. They had table pants on one episode, and they're called tants.
So there's shants, and then there's just shorts, except it's shirt and shorts together, and it's still just shorts.
God. Or shirts.
Same.
I can't figure out how to make it a different way.
I can't either.
Shorts. If you put 2 words, don't take out any of the letters. Shorts. Now, my thoughts. This does fall into line with a lot of early contact encounters, like what's called witnesses that say prior to like 1960. You see a lot of the more friendly type of alien. Your more human look. Sometimes they're described as Nordic or other groups of aliens versus the grays we get reported today. And that's a lot of people linked to in the conspiracy and alien world. There is apparently a treaty made with Eisenhower that kicked off a lot of the other alien species and made Earth more of a like testing ground for the gray aliens. In exchange, we get advanced technology for the government.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So a lot of these encounters, like this encounter with these type of aliens, fits within the timeline of when these types were reported. So I don't know. If any of these, it sounds like it would almost be an encounter, but it's hard to really say because there's not much physical evidence to or for against this.
And there's not, like, the only evidence, like you're saying, is anecdotal that he told, like, it's he said, she said.
Yep. To conclude, in 1940, Udo Wartena encountered a strange craft in a meadow. As he approached the being exited their craft, and that being looked very human with some good fashion. Once they met each other, Udo let them take water and went on board the craft to see their wonderful interior design. I'm adding some of these words after we talked to my conclusion. There he saw amazing technology and got a deeper insight on these visitors. He eventually departed after he declined to join them and lived the rest of his life in relatively quiet. I was about to write my next thing and it says wrap it up. It's more instructions for myself. What are you, so where were you again on this? Like, which thing more believable?
More believable, I would think.
Let me find what I want my scale to be. Do you have any last, like, final questions on this? Any, like, lingering questions you need answered or want me interested if I know?
Did anything change from his letter to his accounts?
Not to my knowledge.
Like the accounts that he had before he died?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, I mean, that also helps. Like, eyewitness testimony, like, can either go really, really bad or can be, like, pretty decent. And to kind of keep your story straight like that for that long, like, I mean, that's an accomplishment in and of itself. The less lies you tell about something, the more likely you'll remember the pieces of it. Because you don't have all the lies that you have to remember.
Yeah. So, there's no pop culture on this, unfortunately. There are other nearby Montana UFO cases. Apparently, the first ever, like, video of a UFO is from a nearby area in Montana that we'll have to cover some other time.
Is that where Flesh Pedestrian Ranch is?
I don't know. I think that's Utah. Nevada.
Mm-mm.
Did we talk about this recently?
Probably.
No, we said it was Utah or Nevada.
It's Utah, you're right.
Yeah, we talked about this on our last episode we did together.
Basin of northeastern Utah near the small town of Ballard.
We mentioned this in our last episode we did together.
It's called UFO Alley. It's in an area called UFO Alley. I wonder if that is like kind of maybe in line where we're at.
No, I don't. I think we're more in line with Idaho. Potato State. Also the Nazi state where a lot of apparently Nazis go to live together.
I clearly don't understand.
Geography?
Yep.
Expected. I know that.
Because, oh no. Montana's directly above Utah. There's just Wyoming in between.
Which we covered recently.
Where is this close to again?
Boulder Mountain, which is by like Townsend. It's in the western end of Montana.
Bottom or top?
Middle.
I'll have to look more.
Sage, are you ready for your 1 to 10 scale that I typically give?
Yeah.
On scale 1 to 10, nice upholstered benches, do you rate this case?
6. Maybe 6, 7.
6-7. You heard it here first, folks. From Sage. 6-7. You set me up for that.
I did.
I put 6 upholstered benches out of 10 is where I put this case. All right. Do you have anything else, Sage, before I wrap us on out of here?
They are like kind of pretty much on top of each other.
Actually, yeah, way better than what I expected.
So like I'm wondering if that's like if that's in UFO Alley, if that part of Montana sits in that too. It would make sense with the mountain range right there.
I want to know the map of UFO Alley, but I'm not seeing anything. All right, my computer's starting to run out, so let's do the wrap up here. All right.
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening today. If you're liking what you're listening to, go rate, comment, follow, subscribe, review on whatever you're listening on. Every little bit helps us in the algorithm. Go follow us on our socials. Our Instagram is where we post most. You can go reach out to us there. Every little bit helps us out. So thank you guys. If you're liking what you're listening to and want to hear more stuff like this, go check out our other episodes or some of our other friends' podcasts that we like to promote, like Something Strange, who we just did an episode with last week. Besides that, I think that's everything I have. So Sage, are you ready for the sign off?
Yep.
And remember
To look for
the unknown,
the unsolved,
and the unseen.
Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys. Don't forget the most valuable thing between planets is interior design.